Picture this. You're pulling up to a familiar street corner in Columbus, Ohio on a chilly winter morning. The thermometer's dipped to a bone-chilling 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and that relentless Midwestern wind is slicing through your jacket like it's made of paper. You've just shut off the engine in your trusty old Ford pickup, the one that's seen better days, and there it is, the gaslight glowing accusingly on the dashboard. You know filling up that tank is going to cost you close to $70 today, and it's not just a number. It's the weight of everything piling up. Inflation isn't some distant economic term anymore. It's the sting you feel every time your grocery receipt stretches longer than expected, or when your rent jumps another notch, making you wonder how much more you can stretch your paycheck. You've wrapped up a grueling 10-hour shift at work, your back aching from the constant hustle, your mind buzzing with the day's frustrations. You're not just tired, you're yearning for a moment where life doesn't feel like an endless treadmill. Maybe you don't even crave a stiff drink, just a small win, a brief reminder that you're more than the sum of your daily grind. So, you push open the heavy glass door of the local Starbucks, and suddenly, the chaos outside fades. The air is filled with the comforting aroma of freshly roasted coffee beans. Soft jazz hums in the background, and the warm, inviting lights wrap around you like a gentle embrace. It's more than a coffee shop. It's a temporary haven, a place where you can catch your breath amid the storm of everyday life. You step up to the counter and order your go-to, a venti latte. The barista, maybe a young college student juggling classes and bills just like so many of us, flashes a friendly smile and rings it up $7.15. On paper, that seems steep. $7 for what boils down to some hot water, milk, and a scoop of beans. Compare it to the $4 gallon of gas you just eyed at the pump, and it feels almost extravagant for something you'll sip and finish in under 10 minutes. But here's the thing, when you tap your card to pay, it doesn't sting like those other expenses. In fact, it feels almost soothing. You're not just handing over cash for a caffeine hit. You're investing in a precious 15 minutes where you can unplug from the role of exhausted worker and simply be yourself, a person deserving of a little comfort. What Starbucks really offers isn't just coffee. It's a subtle form of emotional relief, a way to pause and recharge in a world that's always demanding more. They understand that as budgets tighten and life gets busier, people seek out those small premium moments that make the ordinary feel special. In a society where interactions can feel rushed and impersonal, stepping into a Starbucks is like being acknowledged. Your name scribbled on a cup, a nod that you matter in the midst of it all. We're diving into how this all comes together, not as some grand scheme, but as a thoughtful design that taps into our shared human needs. So, settle in with your cup, take a deep breath, and let's explore the thoughtful elements that make this place feel like more than just a stop for Java. Ever wonder why you don't just grab your drink and head straight out the door? Instead, you scan the room for a cozy spot, maybe lingering for an hour or two, even if you hadn't planned on it. It's because Starbucks has masterfully created what's known as the third place. In our busy American lives, home is often the first place where laundry piles up, kids need attention, and those nagging bills wait on the kitchen table, reminding you of responsibilities that never seem to end. Work is the second place, a space where you're one of many, grinding away on tasks, chasing deadlines, and hoping for that next step up the ladder. But Starbucks? It's that welcoming in-between zone, a neutral ground where you can shed those labels for a bit. For the price of a drink, you're not defined by your roles as a parent, employee, or caregiver. You're just you, free to relax and reflect. Take a closer look at the space around you. Notice how many of those small tables are round. It's not an accident pulled from a furniture catalogue. It's a deliberate choice rooted in making people feel at ease. Square tables with their sharp corners can make sitting alone feel exposed, like the empty spaces are highlighting your solitude in a crowded room. But a round table curves gently, creating a sense of completeness, even if you're by yourself. It wraps around you subtly, easing any twinge of social awkwardness and inviting you to settle in without feeling out of place. It's like the design itself is saying, "You're welcome here, just as you are." And then there's the overall atmosphere, the sounds, the sights, the feel of it all. The music isn't blasting top 40 hits that pull your focus. It's a carefully selected playlist of smooth jazz or acoustic tunes, played at just the right volume to blend into a comforting white noise. It masks nearby conversations enough to give you privacy, yet it fosters a lively, communal vibe, like you're part of a sophisticated gathering without the pressure to join in. The lighting plays a big role, too warm and golden, around 2,700 degrees Kelvin, similar to what you'd find in upscale hotels or cozy living rooms. This soft glow isn't just pretty, it helps trigger a sense of calm and safety in our brains, helping the brain associate the space with calm and comfort that make us want to linger a little longer. But beyond the practical perks, what keeps us there is something deeper: the chance to express and affirm who we are. When you plop down with your laptop alongside that iconic green mermaid cup, it's not always about getting work done. It's about projecting a part of your identity. You're signaling to yourself and others, I'm creative, I'm driven, I'm connected. In our increasingly digital and isolated world, where genuine connections can be hard to come by, Starbucks offers a space to feel seen and valued. It's not about renting a seat. It's about carving out a moment of belonging, a reminder that amid the hustle, your story matters. Think about the single parent unwinding after dropping off the kids, or the freelancer piecing together their next big idea. These are real people finding solace in a shared space, turning a simple coffee run into a small act of self-care. You're at the counter now, waiting patiently as the steam rises from the espresso machine. The barista asks that familiar question, "Can I get a name for your order?" In a time when so much of our shopping is done through apps or self-checkouts, cold, efficient, and utterly nameless, this small interaction stands out. Hearing someone ask for your name, even in passing, sparks a flicker of personal connection, a nod to the human element we all crave. It's drawing from timeless wisdom, like what Dale Carnegie noted about how our own names hold a special resonance, making us feel recognized in a sea of anonymity. Then, your drink arrives and you glance at the cup. Instead of John, it might read John. Or if your name is something like Huang, it could morph into Huang or Huang. You might chuckle, shake your head, and think about the barista's long shift or the morning rush. But consider this: that imperfect scribble often sparks something fun. You pull out your phone, snap a quick photo, and share it on social media with a light-hearted caption like, "Starbucks strikes again." Suddenly, you're sharing a relatable moment with friends and family, turning a tiny mix-up into a shared laugh. This isn't about errors. It's about adding a touch of humanity to the experience. In a world dominated by printed labels and automated systems, that handwritten name flaws, and all feels genuine and approachable. It creates a spark of engagement, a story worth telling, and in doing so, it strengthens the bond between you and the brand. It's not manipulation. It's an organic way to make the ordinary memorable, fostering loyalty through those small human touches. We've all had those days where a simple laugh like this brightens things up, reminding us that even in a big corporation, there's room for real, imperfect interactions that connect us. Now, stand back and take in that illuminated menu board. It's a lot to process at first glance, with options like tall, grande, and venti staring back at you. Why not stick with straightforward terms like small, medium, and large? Well, those exotic-sounding names do more than sound fancy. They elevate the whole experience. Tall evokes a sense of aspiration, like you're choosing something substantial rather than settling for the basics. By borrowing from Italian-inspired lingo, Starbucks creates a unique language that sets their offerings apart, making it harder to directly compare to a plain cup of joe from the corner gas station. It's like stepping into a different world where value is measured in enjoyment, not just ounces. Dig into the pricing, and you'll see some clever psychology at play. A tall might run you about $4.45, a grande $5.45, and then the venti at $5.95. Your mind quickly calculates. The venti is nearly double the size of the tall, but only $1.50 more, and just 50 cents extra over the grande. It feels like a smart upgrade, a value you can't pass up. This is the decoy effect in action. The middle option exists to make the largest one shine as the best deal. It's not about tricking you, It's about guiding choices in a way that aligns with how our brains naturally weigh options, often leading us to feel satisfied with getting more for our money. Notice something missing on that menu? No dollar signs in sight, just clean numbers like 5.95 or 6.45. Research from places like MIT shows that symbols like $sign can subtly trigger discomfort, associating spending with loss. By omitting it, the focus shifts to the pleasure of the drink, the flavors, the warmth, making the transaction feel smoother and more enjoyable. It's a thoughtful design that eases the mental hurdle of parting with cash, especially on those tough days when you're seeking a little treat. We've all been there, standing in line after a long week, and that seamless experience turns a simple purchase into a rewarding moment, helping us feel like we've made a choice that adds a bit of joy to our routine. Pull out your phone and glance at that green Starbucks app. It's handy for ordering ahead, skipping lines, or earning rewards on your daily runs. But peel back the layers and you'll see it's more than a convenience. It's a smart way to manage finances on a massive scale. Starbucks also benefits from operating one of the largest consumer prepaid systems in retail, holding on to customer funds through app balances and gift cards without paying interest. Currently, there's over $1.6 billion in prepaid money sitting there across the US, more than many local banks handle. When you preload $20 or $50 for those bonus stars, you're essentially providing the company with funds they can use to expand opening new locations, improving tech all while you plan your next visit. It's efficient, but it also highlights our human tendencies, like those forgotten gift cards gathering dust in drawers with a few bucks left, which can contribute to what retailers call breakage revenue. For the company, the reward system, with its stars and levels, taps into our love for progress, much like a game that keeps us engaged. It's not a heist. It's a system that rewards loyalty and habit, turning routine purchases into a fun pursuit. For many, it's a small way to gamify the everyday, making that morning coffee feel like a step towards something extra, like a free treat after consistent visits. So, what's the heart of all this? Starbucks shines a light on our deeper needs in a fast-paced world. We're not just after caffeine, we're seeking moments of connection and validation. They've shown that success comes from addressing those emotional layers, creating spaces and experiences that resonate on a human level. Whether it's the comforting third place, the personal touch of a name on a cup, or the clever menu design, it's about enhancing our daily lives thoughtfully. This insight isn't reserved for big businesses. It's something we can all apply. Next time you sip that warm venti, reflect. Am I grabbing a drink or carving out a bit of peace in my day? There's value in treating ourselves as long as we're mindful. Don't let habits dictate your choices. Be intentional about what brings you joy. If you're inspired to think deeper about everyday experiences, consider subscribing to channels like Retail Psychology. We're all about exploring these nuances to help you navigate life smarter, building a community of thoughtful folks who appreciate the human side of things. Stay connected, take care, and I'll see you next time.